Disruption for me means leapfrogging technology, generation, and speed of whatever you are doing. And the disruption is not small, it is between 10 to 100x in difference. And especially with the confluence of technology, adoption of internet, mobile devices, wearable devices, there are so many things which can be done so much faster and efficiently for which effort was taken. So disruption is going to be clearly happening in all these spaces coming forward.
Okay, as a leader, what are the challenges that you face because of disruption?
In today's world, it's not the big fish which is eating the small fish, it's the faster fish eating the slower fish. So as a leader, the challenge is how do you make sure you are running fast and fast, because if you slow down, somebody else, which could be a startup of 5 people, may come back and completely disrupt what you are doing. So in the previous generation, when we were talking about planning and implementation and working on 2 years and 1 year development cycles, that's no longer the possibility. You have to think of how can you look at a product and ship the first version out in 2 months and 2 weeks. So speed is critical, and as a leader, I think if your organization is not rolling out new products, new ideas in a matter of weeks and not months, you are already getting obsolete.
Okay, give us one or two examples of how you would have tackled disruption, say, in the past year or so.
So I think one example for us is how we went and built the GOQii hardware. Companies typically spend 6 months to a year on hardware design, firmware design, and then you go to 5 different companies, and it's a longish process of developing hardware. We of course were a startup and didn't have the ability to do that. So what we did is we went to Shenzhen, we looked at designs, we went in Bangalore, looked at designs, we went to San Francisco, looked at designs, and saw we mishmatched 3 different designs and came up with the first version in a matter of 2 months. And from there we kept iterating, and over a period of the last year or so, we have actually done 4 releases internally of the hardware and the firmware. And today, actually, as you saw, we are just announcing a product with Axis Bank which integrates payment into it. We had never thought of payment coming onto our product a year back. And if we were looking at our traditional design methodology, we would have never been able to implement something. Because our implementation of design was such short timelines and so fast, we are able to do things which others can't. So today, if any other device manufacturer or service provider has to do this, they just can't do that. But our process of moving fast and being agile has helped us do this.
So how does a company like yours, plan its digital strategy? What is the duration of that plan?
See, I think the strategy has to stem from the consumer. That is the difference. Previously, you used to design a strategy and then go to the consumer and then ask. So we actually have a group of consumers whom we call titans. So we have the GOQii titans defining the strategy for us. So this January we had a session with the GOQii titans. These are our very hardcore users who came and told us that they want to see all these things in the product. And that's how the strategy was designed on, let's start building this, and not the other way around, that this is our product and this is our strategy and will the consumer want it. So it is completely the opposite way of thinking. So our consultants are not banks and all these digital agencies. Our consultants are our best consumers.
Okay, technology and digital, what drives what?
I think they are the same. Everything is going to be digital, and everything. So technology has a very good definition, right? That whatever was made when you were not born is technology. So today we do not consider, rotary phone as technology, because when we were born, it was already there. So our kids, for them, mobile phone is not a big technology because it is already there when they were born. Similarly, as things go by, for different people, the technology has a different definition. For somebody who's 90 years old, even sometimes looking at a flat screen TV is very high technology. So I think it's a very relative definition. But I think the question really is that thanks to the digitization of so many things, and now with government playing a role with Aadhaar and all of these things, you cannot be living without technology. In the past, it was possible to be in a remote village and say, I have no technology. But today, wherever you are, you will need an Aadhaar card. which will finally digitize you in some way or the other, which is the game changer.
Okay, is it important to have a plan for digital?
The plan for digital is that you keep changing your plan. That is the only plan you can have. You cannot think, 1 year, 2 years, and 5 years. I think your thinking process needs to become shorter because disruptions happen all the time, and you don't know. Like banks suddenly didn't know that a competitor like Paytm is going to come, who is going to suddenly start giving people bank accounts. Or for example, health insurance companies suddenly didn't know that there'll be so much health data that there'll be companies who will be able to monitor people's health. Similarly, there are many other industries. The car industry didn't know that there could be driverless cars in Uber. So Uber is actually impacting sales of cars because people are finding more convenient to use an Uber driver than having their own car. So while a traditional company would be worried about making the next car, making it bigger, better, stronger, nobody thought that Uber will come and start impacting car sales. So today you could be hit by the smallest startup anywhere in the world, and the only way to survive this is to move fast and change.
Okay, so far technology has been providing solutions for problems that were largely known. Uh, how does technology actually move towards providing solutions for unknown problems?
So according to me, there are two kinds of tech solutions. So one is called a painkiller, where there is a pain and it's a hard thing and
Right.
technology helps solve it. And the other is what I call the itch creator, which is there is no pain, but it creates a new need for you, and then you start itching it, and then you keep doing it, and then you get new pains, and it creates new opportunities. So Facebook is a great example of an itch creator. Before Facebook, we all had friends and we all lived happily and there was no problem. But today, Facebook came in and has created this amazing need of being connected, that it has actually become the new way of how we look at our friends. And that has been a game changer as far as technology is concerned. Similarly, in India, and I tell this in every talk, that we have a country where using the same infrastructure, you can order a pizza delivered in 30 minutes to you, fresh, hot, and if it is not delivered, your money is returned back. But an ambulance cannot reach the same place in 30 minutes, which doesn't have to prepare a pizza, which just has to turn up to wherever you are. So the challenge is that it is about making sure that there is the right, the interest of making sure that people want to do these things. So right now there are so many food delivery companies, but nobody is thinking of delivering emergency healthcare to you, because they are largely trying to copy foreign models and bring them to India. So I think one of the key things which I think for India is necessary to look at problems here and then find the technology solutions which are going to become game changers.
Okay, the one big disruption that you see happening in 2016?
I would say, there are several disruptions happening, right? I mean, the payment space, for example, is very, very exciting because, it changes right from what Paytm is doing with the recharge to contactless payments to, every bank trying to innovate. It is amazing that bank was somewhere where you went and the last thing you imagined was innovation. But today, payment and banking space is directly becoming, a victim of innovation from others. But if you have to ask me, the one thing which will be game changing is the government's role in disruption. For the first time, we have a national government which has said we support startups and we support disruption and we support innovation. This has never happened before. If you had an innovation, you better make sure nobody knew it from the government, because they'll want to shut it down. Today, net neutrality was again a very great example of how we have an environment which is supporting startups and innovation. And I think, imagine with a support like this, companies who were doing all of these things in isolation suddenly get a national platform. So I would say the big disruptor this year is going to be enablement of the government in helping this and not becoming a hindrance.
All right, Vishal, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.